Hello everyone, and welcome to our very first round of Illusion of Gaia with PK Crash. We managed to finish up Earthbound in a moving little tribute on Tuesday, so now we are officially moving on to the next big thing, and that would be this one, which has been voted on by many of the people who have viewed this show. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this bad boy and get us started off right. Right, so we are going to start our journey, start from the beginning, and we are going to change the button type because keyboards are a little more awkward to play with. School. My name is Will. A year has passed since I went to the Tower of Babel with my father. My father and his party met with disaster. Somehow I made it back to South Cape. I still can't believe my father is gone. I'll never believe it. When I grow up, I'll be an explorer and see the world. Somewhere, I will meet my father. That's all for today's lesson. You four do your best not to fall behind. Demons have appeared outside of town. If you go very far, you must go with your parents. I'll see you guys at the usual place. I have to go home first. I'll see you guys there later. If you don't hurry home, your mother will think that you were kept after school. Like always, the cave at the seashore. That's where we gotta go, I guess. Oh, Will, please recite with me. The world shines on brightly through eternity. Okay, weirdo. So we're gonna meet with our very first companion and our bestest friend in this whole game. In the dark space, his name is Dark Gaia. Or just Gaia for now. I am Gaia, the source of all life. I will help you on your journey. Only one with the dark power can see this space. You are the chosen one. In the dark space, you can record a travel journal. Stop there before you depart. We're going to record and save and continue, and then we're going to run at it. I always like this idea in this game of like the save points being these little like dimensional windows that open up into like this otherworldly realm. I don't know. I always liked this mechanic in this one. It's really, really cool. So, this is Will. He's a mousy-haired boy from a place called South Cape. He has a flute. It's purple. He keeps it on his back because he's weird. And if you do the R button, you can do this. Make him spin his flute like a baton. Oh, I found a red jewel. I don't remember. Ah, there we go. That's gonna take some getting used to. So red jewels are basically a collectible in this game, and they're kind of there for secret purposes. The more of them you find, the more powerful you can become through this guy known as Gem the Jeweler. There is also a secret that can be unlocked, and since you guys are all such a lovely company, I am going to attempt to try that and try and get to the secret level at the end of this game, so we can all enjoy that together. But for now, let's go ahead and keep moseying. Oh, and here's Gem right now. I am the jeweler Gem. I control the 7 seas. I'm holding one of the red jewels for you. See your inventory. So this list is basically all the things that I'll get if I end up going through every single gem that I can find in the game. There's a 50 amount in total, and some of them are incredibly missable and are also sometimes a little ridiculous to get. Like right off the bat, we're going to get one here that is literally going to take some scrubbing. So my apologies to you guys on that, but it will be necessary. That herb will be very nice going forward. just skip past him. Unlike Earthbound, this one has, you know, like, good characters and everything, but I'm going to save a lot of it for main dialogue and stuff. A lot of the NPCs are kind of just inane creatures, and so I'm just going to keep on keeping on past them. But this is the guy who's trying to fish for a red gem right now. He has to be in this spot right here for us to get the gem, and he will move depending on luck factors, depending on my spawning into this area. So this is our little hangout, the seaside cave. Oh, and look, Lance and Seth are already in here playing cards. It was natural for the four friends to call this seaside cave their second home. Usually when lessons were done at the school, they gathered there to talk and play games until sundown. What is it, Will? It's late. I'm playing cards with Seth. Wait a minute. Hahaha, I'm going to win again for sure. Suddenly, Eric rushed in with a desperate look on his face. Big news! Big news! The Princess of Edward Castle has run away. They say she came to South Cape. That's all? You came in such a hurry that I thought something really big had happened. The princess is probably that spoiled girl Kara, the one you like so much. Liar! Maybe the soldiers will come here looking for her. The soldiers from Edward Castle look so cool. I want a steel helmet too. So all of Will's friends are incredible nerds, and they're going to wait for me to sit down next to Eric so that we can start our day of being little kids. Everyone's here. What should we do today? I want to see Will's mysterious power. You haven't seen it? He can move things without touching them. He moved the statue that's in the corner of the cave. Will, show me again. So this is where we learn part of the mechanics. Remember how I made him spin his flute like a baton in a weird way earlier? Well, that's going to come in handy here, because that's how you use his telekinesis and move items in the game. Next, pick a card. Any card. I'll put 4 cards face down. You pick the one you think is the Ace of Diamonds. And I'll give him this much. This was actually kind of clever, because little kid me was blown away when I did this part. Pick the one you think is the Ace of Diamonds. So they give you 4 choices, and obviously, you know, because you're this character and you have to choose the Ace of Diamonds, no matter which card you choose, it's always the Ace of Diamonds. But, as a kid, you know, thinking that you can possibly lose this, it was super cool to go up to the first card and go, boink! Will picks up the card. It is the Ace of Diamonds, of course. Ah, right! I'm speechless. Hey, Seth, this is some kind of psychic power, right? Yeah, it must be some kind of psychic power thing. If I didn't know better, I'd think it was magic. Most people have 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. I think Will's psychic power is some kind of 6th sense. Well, what Seth says is too complicated for me to understand. Seth, let's play one more game. And so, without picking up the other 3 cards in their Ace of Diamonds, they're going to just keep playing cards all night. And Eric's going to sit there and watch them like a little tool. If I could only do that. We're just going to leave him to be sad. Oh my goodness, no way. We got the red jewel. First try. Oh my gosh. So, no lie, in a similar vein to how the Sword of Kings worked in Earthbound, that is usually supposed to be a very hard spawn. And I'm supposed to literally be spending like all my time trying to get him to show that. And luckily, that worked out in our favor. So I'm going to talk around, because I think the 3rd jewel is somewhere either in one of these pots, or someone gives it to me. I can't remember which. Either way, I'm going to make sure I don't miss it. Like I said, if you miss these things, the game is kind of straightforward in the sense that you can go around the map a little bit, but They do some things in here which do block off your ability to come back and search some areas. So if you don't, check them in the moment, you might miss them. So, she's steaming for some reason. Don't worry, I'm not on fire. It's just a treatment for my sore body. Cleaning this big house all day makes my brain ache. So she lit herself on fire. That poor woman. Oh, and these girls are playing red light, green light, which, in a weird twist of irony, they're not actually playing red light, green light. They're playing numbers, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not how you play red light, green light, but... Oh yeah, it's strange. The game is like red light, green light. Oh, we gotta scare this lady. Oh no! What are you doing? This child, honestly. This is Lance's house. He lives here with his frail mother. Your father has been lost at the Tower of Babel for over a year now. It seems like only yesterday. By the way, I know it's like pronounced Babel, but ever since I was a kid, with my grandma, we always called it the Tower of Babel, so I'm sticking with that. In memory of her. Oh, there's the red jewel. Okay. I found it. That's 3 red jewels for me. Getting used to the item system too, which is good. Because that was getting a little annoying for me. Look like a fast runner to run, push the control pad twice. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. You collected more than 3 jewels. According to the list, you get the herb. Cool. So now that I have the herb, it's literally one of the few things in the game that lets you heal without going to a safe space. There's some things you can find out in the game world that lets you do that, but not often. So it's good to save these up. This is my house. The pie that Grandma Lola is making smells really great. By the way, don't listen to Will. His sense of taste is very, very skewered. They are cooking snail pie right now, and that is definitely not something that smells delicious. The pig's wrecking the room. But why is there a pig in my house? Is it because I'm poor? Oink oink. Oh, okay. Hamlet, you shouldn't snort at strangers. Is this your house? Yeah. So? Smooth. Frankly, you look a little shabby. Well, excuse me. Your father, mother, not here, huh? Is this a picture of your parents? My father's an explorer. I know. Ullman, the explorer. They say he was lost. He'll come back someday. Are you sad? No? I'd be sad if it were me. I'm sorry. Anyway, is there a piano here? No, there isn't, but Grandma Lola is a great singer. They're singing upstairs for now. They have such loud voices. Okay. Welcome home, Will. When I sing opera, I lose track of the time. Dinner's not ready yet. Where would it be cooking? Oh my, I haven't sung like this in a long time. Your grandmother Lola used to be a singer. I fell in love with her voice, that's why I married her. Ah ha ha ha, oh you, bringing up a thing like that. Will, you shouldn't be surprised to hear that. The girl who was singing with me a minute ago... No! A scream from downstairs. Time to run! It's that girl screaming. I'm gonna race you down there. I win. Princess, I've been looking for you. I don't know you. Be gone. What are you saying? If I don't take you home, I'll lose my head? Why is that a question mark? What do I care if you lose your head? Princess! Do you think I have nothing better to do than chase you down? I must take you home. It's the king's orders. Oh, she's just gonna go stiff as a plank, huh? I'm sorry I lied to you. I'm King Edward's daughter, Kara. Will, I feel as though we've met before, as if we're good friends. She presumes a lot. I just met her. And also, where is the oven in here? I don't know where she could be possibly baking a pie. So, that girl likes to play practical jokes. Yeah, funny. We just had the guard break down our door and steal a girl out of our house. Edward Castle. There's a big viaduct under the castle. Your grandfather designed it. What? Really? I used to be an architect. There's a prison under the castle. It's built like a maze to keep the prisoners from escaping. I feel bad that I built a prison where people disappear and are never heard from again. Enough serious talk. Let's eat dinner. I've made a delicious pie. Let's sit at the table upstairs. Why do we have a table downstairs if we're going to just eat upstairs? In the bedroom. Weirdos. We sat down to a feast of snail pie with whipped cream. See what I'm saying? Will's insane. I only got one piece, but Grandpa Bill ate half the pie. That night, Will dreamed that Kara and he took a trip around the world. He just met this woman. And the next morning, something began to happen. Will reached puberty. I had more snail pie for breakfast. I left you a slice. Good morning, Will. A letter has come for you from King Edward. This is what was written in the letter. Bring the crystal ring from Ullman's things to Edward Castle. King Edward. Very succinct. I've been in a bad mood ever since I saw this letter. Oh, Will, I'll teach you a spell. When I'm upset, humming this tune makes me feel better. Lola hummed a strange melody. That's pretty. Even though Will had never heard it before, it seemed oddly familiar. You've learned Lola's melody. So obviously this is why he has a flute as a weapon, because now he can play that by going into the inventory and selecting this note. And not doing that. And it only, of course, plays the actual note when you use it in the context it's supposed to be used in. So, we are going to go up to the top of the school. I'm going to run past my teacher here. I'm not doing my homework. I'm going to go to the dark realm. Or dark space, sorry. And then we're going to record. And then we're going to go. I'm going to run over to this side. I'm going to jump off this roof. Yeah! I'm a daredevil. Alright, so now I'm going to talk to this dude. King Edward has summoned you to the castle. Well, just be careful. I know there's demons and stuff outside, but clearly you can handle your own with a flute. Where do you want to go? Or where do you go? Sorry. We're going to Edward's castle. It's the only place we can go. So you travel along the map kind of like this. And each individual scene, of course, takes place at the places that you land. So for now, we're going to Edward's castle, where I'm going to be accosted by these two guards in their dorky helmets. This is King Edward's castle. I must report this intrusion. Will shows the letter to the guard, and then flips him the bird. A guest of the king? I'm sorry, you may pass. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, we're gonna stop pestering him now. They're just gonna keep on walking, huh? Recently, a hunter was hired. I wonder what the king is thinking. That he wants some fresh game, I think, lady. Anyway, gonna run across this palace. I have a basement, but I'm not gonna go down there, because instead I'm gonna go up here. So your will. You were summoned by King Edward? Be careful when you meet with him. Boy, I can't wait to see what that precludes. Well, he's shy. I'm glad that somewhere in the world there is someone who's thinking of me. Aww. He's bashful. And a weenie. This is the princess's room. Strangers can't enter. I'm not a stranger, okay? I met her. She came to my house. Who is it? A guest? This is just a shabby boy. Why does everyone keep saying that? It's me, Kara. Oh, that voice. Let him in, or I'll tell everyone your old nickname. Oh, pardon me. Please enter. You. Yesterday. I was told to bring the crystal ring to King Edward. Terrible. It's terrible. Again, my father is trying to take something important from someone. I've escaped from the castle before. Now they won't let me go out. Recently, something very strange has happened in the castle. My mother has hired a famous hunter. It's ominous. Princess, let's go. I feel scared. My father and mother seem to have changed. Please save me. Please take me out of here. Please. Princess. Please come back, Will. Okay, well, I guess I got no choice, but I'm gonna go see the king now, so bye! Everyone's making such a big deal about this lady hunter, like hiring a hunter, as if, you know, like people didn't do that back then. The interview room is before you. Climb the stairs to meet the king. So you are Will. Sorry to have kept you waiting. Let's go see King Edward. If we must. I'm gonna talk to the Queen first. The king sent you the letter. Talk to him. Well, riveting conversation. Your Will? You look so shabby. Well, did you bring the crystal ring? No, because I don't know what you're talking about. How dare you say such a thing to me? Guards, throw this impudent weasel in prison. Then go to Will's house and find the ring. Yes, sir. Ma'am, save me! Did you say ma'am? Aren't you a ma'am? And what is with the word shabby? Is it like slang for something really nasty here? I wonder why I have to suffer so. Snail pied last night, dirt on tonight. I wonder what will become of me now. Anyway, I have to think of a way to get out of here. Maybe I can use my delicate nieces to blow my hair back. I don't know. Someone was chained to this ball, and now they're not. This moss has seen thousands of prisoners come and go. Those prisoners must have been encouraged by any sign of life. Alright, waxing philosophical here. Yeah, more moss. So intriguing. It's locked. Because it's like a jail cell or something. So, Will's not the brightest cookie. Not a lot of these folks are, unfortunately. That's okay. I know my way around this game, so we can circumvent a lot of their stupidity. But I can also spin my flute like a weenie. A soldier's whisper comes from a hole in the ceiling. It's today's ration of bread. Even moss drinks water. What does that have to do with bread? Will tastes some of the bread. The bread is hard. It's the worst thing he's ever tasted. For some reason, he really misses Grandma Lola's creative cuisine. Creative, yeah, that's the word for it. So we're gonna stew a little bit more in this place. Continue to... Time passes slowly, but the long day is ending. It pains me to think of the prisoners' feelings, not knowing what they should do. While I was trying to think of a way out, I drifted off to sleep. mid-run. A familiar voice speaks from the flute. Will, this is your father. I'm a flute. Father? You were a cute child, but now you've grown up. Isn't Grandma Lola's pie delicious? Sure, Dad. Where are you? I can't tell you now. I have something to ask of you. Listen. Yes, if it's your wish. No, you deserted me. I want you to save me. I, too, was once held in this cell. Look at the left-hand wall. Woo! Someone dropped a Pokeball. I know how to get it. Shink. This? Have you heard anything from Grandpa Bill? Grandpa? He was an architect. Your grandpa knows the secret of that stone. Secret? Starting now, you will encounter a terrible thing. Do I have to? Pick up the stone your enemy left. The power of the crystal is contained there. That power will prove to be your ally. You must make a pilgrimage to the ruins of the world to find the mystic statues. The closer you get to the crystal, the stronger the evil power will be. Will, no time. Quickly. First to the Incan ruins. The flute's voice fades and disappears. Oh, my dad's no longer a flute. And now I got a weird stone. Uh-oh. And now they're bringing a pig to mock me. I wonder if this is Kara's pig. What luck, there's a letter and a key tied to its tail. The letter read, Sorry to hear that you're in prison. It's terrible what my father's done, but hear what I have to say. I too am a prisoner, in a prison of silk and gold. Gee, how unfortunate. But tonight I will leave the castle forever. You also will be free. Beef. It's what's for dinner. Sorry, I always have to do that because it always reminds me of those old commercials. So, we are going to do this. Equip the key, and then I'm going to use said key and open that up. I'm going to use it again and open this one up and talk to this dude. I don't need anyone's help. I can get out of here by myself. Well, you can now. Oh yeah, dark space. Gonna talk to Gaia and get some free advice. When you defeat all the enemies in an area, you will get a jewel that increases your abilities. Push the start button to see the locations of your enemies. Find the demons and defeat them. So basically what they tell you there is how you actually level up in this game. So unlike most RPGs of the era, you don't collect weapons, you don't collect armor, you don't collect those types of things. In this one you get gems, which basically power your character up in terms of your health, your strength, your defense, and I believe that's it. Those three generally are the things that you're looking for. But you can only get them by defeating everything in a room. So like with these guys, I'm going to smack them with my flute. Smack, smack, smack. Because they're jerks. Smack. Smack them again. Get this guy. Yeah. And there we go. Your HP power has increased. So suddenly I now have a little tiny dot next to those 4 dots up there in the top left-hand corner. When you defeat all of the enemies around you, a jewel will appear. Thanks, Will. Talking to yourself again, I see. There we go. I figured out how to do my lunge attack again. It's a little harder because I'm used to doing this on the controller, so I'm sorry if I do end up sucking a little bit at the beginning of this, because combat's a little different compared to some other things. You know, this is actually more action-oriented, whereas Earthbound and them were, you know, more turn-based. Gonna beat on this bat some more. Oh. Oh, here we go. Tentacle monster. Didn't ask you to shoot me. But we're gonna beat on this guy, because he's got nothing but bones. Up. And he has a homing bone, I guess. Friggin' jerk. Oh. Gotta get used to that. So one of the things too that you'll find out is that like ranged attacks, like that thing's little shot that it shoots at me, can be deflected or, you know, blocked against by doing the telekinesis flute. And same thing with this thing's bone throw, so... Here we go. Haha! Take that. I blocked you. And now I'm getting strength. Has increased. Now I shall do more damage. Aha! Bats go down much easier now. This is the same shape as the statue from the seaside cave, and there's a dandelion floating around it now. Don't touch me. You're gross. Gross weed. Gross, gross. There we go. Grab their gems, because apparently they're... Whoa. Come here, or the demon will get you. What? Is that Dandelion Puff talking to me? Of all the things, I'm being talked down to by a Dandelion Puff. At any rate, there's a dark gem. Gonna bash this bat in the face. I'm gonna hit this skeleton. Mr. Skellington, sir. I'm gonna punch this bat too. Don't you dare. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I didn't mean to use that key. Silly. There we go. Boink, 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 boink. There we go. And then I'm gonna hit that switch. And they're gonna move so I can get down here. Ugh, don't hit me. I found an herb. Okay, now we're gonna smack. Smackety smack. Aha! I blocked it again. Oh no, he got away. I'll smack him this time. Thank you for the shield. Now I've increased my defense. So, obviously, things like that you have to do, you know, the combat so you can actually unlock that thing. But Kid Me was very impatient, and so I ran past all of these things and ended up very underleveled for some future bosses. It stinks. So, anyone who might be considering playing this game in the future after seeing this, I'll warn you now. If you're not going to clear an entire room, you're going to be missing out on a whole lot of power-ups. Of course, spear fell in the way. Come here, Jim. There we go. Oh, that switch is too rusted. Gotta fall on it. Got this skeleton here. Gonna bash him with my flute some more. There we go. And fall on the switch. Free door. Ooh. When you defeat the enemies, a shiny silver dark gem will appear. If you collect 100 of these, you gain 1 life. Even if you're defeated, you won't have to go back very far. So that is the truth of what those little dark gems are that I'm picking up all over the place. They're basically like coins in Mario, and 100 of them equal free life. Right now I don't have a life, so if I end up dying, I basically go back to the beginning, I think, of the dungeon. Whereas if I did have a life, then basically what would happen is I would come back to this room in particular. Which is good for bosses and stuff, though it does not help completely. Oh, there's the Dandelion Puff, and I think they went and hid in the flower. Flower in the corner. Try playing the flute. Play the melody. How does it know I know music? I'm gonna get rid of my gem first. He softly played the melody he had learned from Lola. See, and this game gives you concerts too. And you guys thought you were gonna miss out after not having any more Earthbound concerts. The music is still fresh. He heard a soft voice from somewhere. Go to the switch on the right-hand wall. The door won't open unless you push this switch on the count of 3. When I shout, push the switch. I'll count 1, 2, 3. Don't make a mistake. Okay. 1, 2, 3. The door's open. Go on. Whee! Oh no! The switch is out of range. What will I do? I wonder what I will do. Give me that gem, and I'm gonna beat on this bat some more. It's definitely animal cruelty that I'm smacking this poor bat with my flute. Yeah, take that. You couldn't even sink fast enough, jerk. And come here, Jim. So, you guys are about to meet one of the more unique characteristics of this game and what made it such an icon, in my humble opinion. The game makes you play only as one character, and that is Will. However, Will himself has multiple forms that he takes on at the behest of Dark Gaia. One of them is this guy, the Dark Knight known as Friedan, and we are going to meet him right now. Will hears a voice in his head. Will, I've been waiting a long time for you to come. I am Friedan. I am eternal. Let me help you on your journey. As time goes by, you'll come to understand my nature. Will gradually loses consciousness. And there we go, guys. We now are Friedan. And so we've replaced our flute with a sword. He can still do telekinesis, but he does it by guarding with his blade instead of weird little flute. Looks like you're hurt. Close your eyes. Your shape is only temporary. Try standing in front of the statue next to you. That's basically Gaia's way of being like, hey, dude, you can transform into another guy. And it's way cool. And it is indeed, because now Friedan gives you some excellent options. For one thing, see, I can hit that switch now. For another, he does more damage than Will does, because obviously, you know, a sword beats a flute any day. So, especially when it comes to like bosses and stuff, if you ever get the option, you're going to want to definitely double down and try and switch over to Friedan before you get there, because otherwise fighting his Will takes a little time with some of the enemies, so just a good idea to try and circumnavigate that problem. There is another player we'll be able to play as later in the game, but I'm warning you now, it's really cool, but he only comes into play in the last dungeon, and after that, just for a little while longer. So, basically get attached to Friedan and Will. Well, if there's one thing I can say about this game that's kind of a criticism, not really. Because it's so unique, I really wish that they played around with the mechanic of it more and gave you an opportunity to turn into other characters and stuff. Like Friedan's awesome, especially once you learn some skills. But you learn pretty quickly that like he operates on the same level as Will. It's not a very different style of play. It's just, you know, obviously you can fight a little longer range and do a little more damage, which is nice. And Shadow plays a little differently, and that's the guy that we get after Friedan. But, like I said, he's basically in-game content, so we won't see him for a while. When the enemies are destroyed, Will can return to his original shape. So in other words, they have this mechanic that obviously makes sure that you don't just, you know, stay as a certain character the entire time, because, well, that would be very confusing for all the players, or the NPC characters. So, you change back to Will, basically, whenever dungeons are cleared and stuff like that. Oh, there's somebody up there. But I need to get that red jewel, because I cannot leave without getting all the red jewels. Sending that one off. I saw you, but I'm surprised. You can change your shape like me. I'm Lily, an Ittery girl protected by the flower spirit. How? How do you know a melody you could only have heard from us? I learned it from Grandma Lola. She hummed it whenever she was upset. I have had some of her pie. It tastes rather unusual, doesn't it? You know my grandmother? Actually, she asked me to rescue you. The elder is calling. I have to go. We'll meet again. Goodbye, Will. Oh. So she's the little dandelion poof. So that's Lily. She's fun. Here we are down in the basement. Remember I said I wasn't going to come down here? Well, this is why. Because now you're going to see it all for your glorious selves. The wonderful, barrel-filled basement of Edward Castle. We're going to sneak up here. That lady didn't see me. These lovers didn't see me either. And I'm walking, and this dude over here is asleep because he's a turd, and I'm talking to Kara. Of course, you come. Thank you. Was the old guard asleep outside? His nickname is Old Snorehead. Sleeping again. Your little pig has come. His name is Hamlet. Cute, isn't he? He's very smart. He has some kind of strange pig power. Please take me out of here. Okay, you gonna bring Hamlet, or oh, okay, I guess we're good. So, now we have Kara, who's just kind of skating behind. Oh wait, it will be a long trip. We should take food. Would you go to the cellar with me? Oh, back to the basement. I just came from there, lady. Sheesh. So we go over this open barrel, we click on this, and beef. It's what's for dinner. Sorry, it's a large, yummy roast leg of yak. Yum. Everything's ready. Let's go before the soldiers find us. People in this universe find strange things delicious, like, you know, gamey yak, or snail pie. At last, we leave. Let's go to your house. I'm worried about your grandparents. They hurry to Will's. By the way, get very acquainted with this map because we're going to be old friends with it by the time we really kick this gameplay off. Oh no, they pulled all the books off and knocked the chairs over. What? What's happened? It's awful. Who would do such a thing? My grandparents? Grandpa Bill? Grandma Lola? I'll look upstairs. Well, they're not under these books that are taped to the floor. They're not in this pot. Oh, Will, come here, quick, it's terrible, terrible. Oh, great. Oh, they messed the books up and knocked the stool over in here, too. What happened? Look at the wall. This mark, a jackal. The jackal's here. It looks like a jackal. A jackal. Jackal, right? It's a jackal. Jackal? He's the hunter hired by my mother. An evil man who will stop at nothing. Once he starts after you, there's no stopping him. He has no regard for human life. Kind of like a stork. My grandpa and grandma. Oh! Dandelion Girl's here. Don't worry, you two. You're the one who... Who are you? I'm Will's friend. Lily, do you know anything about this? It's okay. Your grandpa and grandma are safe. They're in my village. Your village? Ittery Village. I've never heard of this village. Naturally. My village has a barrier around it. Ordinary people like you can't see it. Let's go, Will. Okay. I'm going too. It's far too dangerous for a princess. You can't stop royalty. I'd do whatever I want. Typical of a princess. Well, she did break out of the castle, and we can't just leave her here, so I guess we do have to take her. But, do I say goodbye to my friends down in the cave who are probably still playing cards? No. They're on their own. Oh. Well then, I guess I can't leave until I talk to Lily. Oh, they cleaned the house up. Wasn't that nice of them? And they even took the jackal off the wall. Are you ready to go? I think something wonderful is going to happen. No, from here there will be many hardships. You're nitpicking. That's what I expected. Have you ever been outside the castle? Crazy girl. Are you totally ignorant of the world? Will is my friend, understand? Hey, Will, aren't you my friend too? I'm going to the village. I'm glad, Will. Let's go hand in hand. Together the three set off for Lily's village. Okay, so now that I've talked to them and they got their chance of, tug-of-warring me, now we can go find the invisible village of Italy. This is my village, but you're probably surprised that there are no houses. Well, Will, try playing the melody that called to me under Edward Castle. So you can't really move or do anything here until you do this, so you just choose the melody and have a concert. The melody, carried on the wind, spread over the meadow. And suddenly they loaded the back sprites. Were you surprised? There's a barrier around this village. Most people can't see it. The princess is getting to be a bother. On the road, all I heard was, "My feet hurt. I'm thirsty. I'm tired of hearing it." I can't help it. My feet hurt. Oh, okay. Well, come with me. I'll show you my house. So, obviously, some of the dialogue's a little stilted, so go along with it. The Incas who lived here were a tribe without a written language. Their legends are left in song. Even in seemingly meaningless melodies, there is a message. There are no other children Lily's age in the village. Please become friends. She's really getting annoying. Will, over here. You're safe. Good. A terrible thing happened to us. A man called the Jackal came to the house with some soldiers. He almost got us. Grandpa panicked. I destroyed their digestion with a poisoned marsupial pie. Then I ran away. Lily, thank you. I didn't know that Princess Kara came too. We didn't ask her to come along. Well, this is my house. You can look around the village, but then come back here. Lily, wait, I'll go too. So they're gonna go crash in Lily's place. Make sure all the jars are empty. The elder is in the flower garden. He's very old but very wise. Shall we go see him? It's a great village. The breeze is refreshing. Meet with the elder. He knows something. Well, Everyone's very straightforward on that front, so I guess I can't ignore it. Gotta go see the Elder of the Flowers. Oh dear, there's a ramp here. Looks like I'm gonna have to get myself a running start. It said that a messenger appeared here when the ancient world was about to be destroyed. Then all around the world, disease and famine began to increase. This planet had always been peaceful. Oh, so there's a dark space here. We're gonna just jump on in. Will's power, the Psycho Dash. It can destroy obstacles. Always be alert. If you find a suspicious place, try to destroy it. Good life lessons all around. Let's get that magic ability, shall we? I am never going to get over the fact that that sounds like the beef it's what's for dinner noise. So I'm sorry if I make that joke a million more times. Sorry. Only young Will can use the Psycho Dash. You can smash walls and obstacles by hurling yourself against them. Use the attack button to save energy. There you go. So he glows bright green, basically, and then I Psycho Dash. That's how you use that. So with that, now we can finally go and meet the Elder. Try running down the hill and keep running. You'll be surprised. Alright, everyone ready? Roller coaster time. Whee! Boom. I went flying over the gorge. Will hears a quiet voice behind him. You've come, Will. I'm here, in the flowers. I've lived too long. Oh, there you are. I can't live without the protection of the flower spirit. You really look like your father. It seems like only yesterday that he came to this village. My father? Your mother, Shira, was the only daughter of your grandparents Bill and Lola. She was very beautiful. Your father fell in love with her and took her from the village. All of the Ittery tribe have a strange power, but Shira's was especially strong. She made a barrier to hide the town, but your father came through it easily. Come to think of it, he was unusual too. Were you summoned by your father? Yeah? Well, that fulfills Lola's prophecy. Do you plan to go? Yes. Good. I will entrust you with the Incan statue handed down to the village. The statues are the key to the Incan riddle, untouched by human hands for hundreds of years. One statue is enshrined in the cave below. Use all your skill to find it. So now there's a prophecy, and my grandmother who bakes snail pie is in it. Strange. So, this is where it's kind of like confusing. But you can do this. And you hear that noise. That's how you know that you're supposed to do the Psycho Dash, because then it does this. And boom! And exploded a door. You found Incan Statue A. It's what's for dinner. I think that's everything. I don't think I'm missing anything else here. I tried checking the gravestones. I don't believe that any of these things hold anything. None of the flowers hold anything. I can talk to him again, but it does nothing. So we're going to run out of that ramp and fly again. Whee! Such a good thing that this place has so many cool ramps to run off of. I want to make sure that building over here doesn't have one. No secret gems here, right? The ruins are an ancient tomb. Why can't you leave them alone? What if I haven't done anything, lady? Get off my back. Sheesh. Already getting attacked before I even do anything. What? Moon tribe? I know. Not a tribe, more like a strange shadow form. A high mountain peak near here has become their home. Shall we go? Nah, let's quit. Okay, I'll lead. I'm going too. I want to see the Moon Tribe. Since I escaped the confinement of the castle, I want to see and hear everything. No, it's too dangerous for princesses. If you don't want to bother Will, just wait here quietly. I seem to be the only one left out. So I'll talk to Grandma Lola. Nya nya. She's sulking. It's good medicine for a selfish girl. The mountain pass will be difficult, but let's do the best we can. So Will and Lily go to the peak where the Moon Tribe lives. Home of Moon Tribe. Ah, we've arrived. This is the Moon Tribe's home. Good evening. Out for a stroll? Who is it? Up, up. This body is lighter than air. What are you? Guess who? So what should I say, guys? Cotton Candy's relative? Birdman? Or Old Man's ghost? I'm going Cotton Candy's relative. Wrong. Actually, we are the Moon Tribe, also known as Shadows. So in other words, you can't get that right no matter what. It's best to just be goofy about it. The comet is a vehicle of destruction whose evil light has changed all creatures. It's a remnant of a weapon from a terrible battle long ago. The world will be unbearable? Yes, you're bright, but you're still immature. Well, that was weird. Anyway. One of my party has been kidnapped. Know your destination? Maybe someone's chasing you. Coo coo coo. That's weird. Wherever there's light, there are shadows. We who were changed by being bathed in the light only once will spend our future in a world without light. It comes once every 800 years. This is the 4th time. The more light that reaches you, the stronger the dark power. What will be born of the light this time? We've transcended time and have lived long. We saw the destruction of the Incan Empire. The Incan statue sleeps in the cave below. If you like, we'll give it to you. At any rate, go look in the cave. Coo coo coo. These things really laugh weird. I'll wait here. Just as well. This is the final shape of those touched by the comet's light. They are horrible creatures whose hearts are filled with hatred and destruction. If you can destroy them within 20 seconds, I'll give you the Incan statue. Oh crap. So, basically have to like do a quick run up. Just bash on these guys really quickly. Hopefully they don't get too far. I gotta worry about the gems because I don't really have time. There we go. Hey, hey, good boy, coo coo coo. Then I'll give you the Incan statue. For some reason I always used to think he was legitimately rhyming on purpose there, but now I just know it was an accident. In terrible translation. Beef. It's what's for dinner. And Incan statue B. There we go. Oh, that statue. You are great. There are 2 statues. Go to the Incan ruins? Yes, my father summoned me. I don't want to fight the demons, but if my father's alive, I'll risk anything to see him. You don't really understand until you lose your parents. Lily. Typical. I understand. Let's go to the ruins. Wow, she just threw that back in his face like that. So now we're off to just keep going on our adventure, you know. Leave Grandma and Grandpa behind in the dust in Italy Village. And Kara. Just, screw you. We're gonna go on an adventure now, and you're not gonna join us, so there. Here's the entrance to the ruins. They say that this is where the puzzle of the Incan legend is hidden. I heard this story from the elder when I was a child. After being invaded, the Incans decided to leave their native world, their land, to find a new world. They secretly built a huge ship and filled it with priceless gold artifacts. But there's no record of the ship leaving. That's probably the Incan gold ship in the story. I don't think the elder has ever told that story to any outsider. I wonder what he wants you to do. He wants me to scalp it. Uh-oh. You're so mean, leaving me behind. How could you do that? Why are you in a place like this? It's dangerous. Lola told me about this place. I've been waiting. I thought you'd left me. You should tell me where you're going. What is Will looking for in the ruins? I can't just wait around and eat while Will is working so hard. I'm waiting here for Will to return. Well, a princess wouldn't understand. I'll wait for you here, okay? Well, I remember what the elder said. Put the statue on the Larai cliff below the ruins, where the spirit's breath cannot reach. The valley wind will lead you to the gold ship. Okay, well, I guess they're gonna just stand out here while I go exploring the ruins of Larai Cliff. There is a tremendous wind at the Larai Cliff. That's probably what the old man meant by the breath of the spirits. This is the cliff with no wind. My heart beats fast. We got fire dudes who are getting smacked by my flute, and then these weird four-headed things that like to shoot things out of their mouth. Also got smacked by my flute. A lot of people getting smacked by my flute today. Oh yeah, you're going down. We got ourselves a life, finally, by the way. So, that's one worry subverted. Haha, I blocked. Ooh, there's a diamond shape in the floor. Must be something I'm missing. Gotta beat this dude. Got some defense, so that's a good thing. Sorry, I was making sure I had all my stuff. There we go. Now we're beating down these worms that were in that cave. Luckily I don't have a timer on these ones. And by the way, that's the last time the timer comes up, thank goodness, because I always hated those kinds of quests. And when I was younger, that one tripped me up a little bit. So I always got stuck there, and I had to have my grandma help me when I was trying to fight those things in the time limit. She never really had that problem. She was real quick to beat them down. Okay, you can stop shooting me with your little pin needles of light, you jerk. Okay, just whack on him. There we go. Haha! Smack, smack, smack. Oh, bash this dude. Alright. Yeah, get out of my way. Last dude. So he opens up a shortcut now. And I get hit points. Which is good. So now I get this. we got that crystal block. That thing is what we need to go into that tile back here. And that is one thing that's genuinely kind of good about the way that this works, you know. If you obviously defeat all the enemies, they don't come back, which is good, because I always kind of hated that in games when you would leave a room and then suddenly things would respawn. I know it creates a sense of, you know, like, you know, okay, I have challenges to always overcome, but it always seemed weird to me when you're, like, trying so hard to defeat all these enemies and they just, like, keep magically appearing out of nowhere. Oh, crap. You bum rushed me. I'll show you, you lava jerk. Oh, I need to get this guy. And there's another shortcut. That one goes back up to where I started, so we're not going to worry about that one quite yet. Ooh, there's bones on the floor. There we go. Take care of that. An explorer who sought the ink and gold ship. In the skeleton's hand is some kind of charm. Inside it is a scrap of paper with this written on it. Father, please come back alive. Nana. When you find the gold ship, buy a crook. Sabas. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, kids, but I don't think Dad's coming home. But these things are breakable with my Psycho Dash, so we're gonna do just that. Through here. And get an herb. So that gives me 3 herbs. And you will see when I come up to the bosses that that's a very good thing, because they like to tear through your health a lot in this game. So I got those enemies. I don't have to worry about that now. I just need to find a way to the other side of that room so I can continue defeating the bad guys. So we're going to jump down here now that we're locked into this decision. And I'm going to protect. There we go. And we're going to smack, 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 smack. Haha. Fools. Haha. You can't get me, you four-faced jerk. So we're going to Psycho Dash. We're going to break this thing because it's in our way. And I'm all about that vandalism. There we go, last guy here. And there's our strength boost. Gonna be good going forward. Ooh, these slime things. I always hated them as kids because, for one thing, you didn't know where they were gonna come up, and you also didn't know when you beat them all. At least in my mind, because they would just, you know, would disappear into the floor. So I never knew if I got everything. It always made me very paranoid. By the way, I know you're probably seeing a lot of faces that look like Olmec from the Hidden Temple, and there's a reason for that. It's all based off of Incan design. So we can't get over there because I can't hit that thing that's behind the barrier, so y'all know what we have to do now. We gotta go find the thing that turns me into Freedan and then turn me into Freedan. There's something on the ground here. If I can move that gold statue, I can pass. There we go. Get rid of that, and that'll open up that. So hooray for that secret returning exit. Oh, here's what they meant by the gold statues. Ooh, and we got a problem. One of them came to life and is now doing spear things like a jerk. Okay, so the idea here is that we have to get these things onto the gold plates. The only problem is if you get too close, then they come to life and they basically try and stab you. So, since I kind of wasted the gold statue dude, improvise a little bit. I'm gonna have to pull this guy closer. There we go. I have to slice and dice that a little bit. There we go. And then run over here real quick, and there we are. Open the door. Bing, bang, boom. And by the way, these guys don't count as your kill count, because they technically start off as statues, so they don't count as actual enemies in your sense of getting, you know, like a power up. So I kill them, but nothing really happens. Going forward. Alright, so there's gold tiles on the ground here, and I'm going to tell you something, they're all traps. An Incan who sought the Incan, or the explorer who sought the Incan gold ship. He lost his life in a trap, which is this one. Boom! And then this one. Boom! And I'm going to beat on these guys, because I'm not going to worry about that trap right there, because I'm going to land on it right there. Boom! And I'm going to land on this one. Boom! And it opens up the way. Same with this one. Boom! There we go, and here we go. Freedan time. Time for the Dark Knight to rise. Change into the Dark Knight Freedan. Yeah, so the idea of them exploring this would have been really nice, just because, you know, like I said, this is a really cool concept. The idea that you play as a kid, you know, but then you can turn into other characters based off of, you know, like the Dark Knight Freedan. And now, you know, it feels like there's a lot of potential there that could have also been used towards, you know, like more puzzles or more, you know, like gameplay aesthetics. And I know that, you know, like this was early in the, you know, game design world, so like this was more or less just testing Battlegrounds. But for me, it's one of those things that, like, I don't know, it would have been cool. The wind in the valley plays a melody. The statue seems to be singing. You learn the melody of the wind. And that's all we came here to do. So we learned it, we're done. So, of course, as you know, playing as a guy with no flute, we can't play that melody. You can't even sing it vocally. The game doesn't think that that's a good option anyway, so you learn the note, you have it in your inventory, but until you play as Will again, you can't play the note. So if there's ever a time in the game where you need to play music, you always have to remind yourself, you have to play as Will. So now that we have our friend Freedan and I have a little more range, we're going to smack this dummy dumb. I'm going to steal his gem. We're almost up to 2 lives now. Heck yeah. And we go flying. And we kill these guys because they're jerks. We stole our lunchbox. Eat it. Nothing down there. Oh, more phlegm monsters. And we got a heart piece. Nice. We're steadily building up our health. There's nothing else here to really find. That basically goes back to where we came from, so we're going to go down and keep going further into the dungeon. These guys do something different. They throw their spears instead of conjuring lava to attack us, so we just stand a little to the south of them, and we just smack them at their feet, and they die without us getting hurt. Win, win, win. Boink. Smack this dude because he's ugly. I don't like his face. We're going to move back up here and then we're going to do another run. Lots of platforming in this game. figure that parkour was a thing even back in the early 90s. Oh dear. Nobody touches Friedan. You jerk. Where's that other phlegm? Found an herb. Haven't found a red jewel in a while. I can't remember how many are supposed to be down here. No, I've probably already missed one. I said I don't think that these statue guys count, but I always do it anyway, just because I don't want to miss out on the opportunity for power-ups. They're very crucial for going forward. Make sure I got everything. Don't miss anything. There we go. Okay. Going down. Then we got things over here, which I know I have to kill these guys. Because I have to hit that, and then they come to life. Boink. And boink. And there's my shield. Okay. One more defense increase won't hurt me. Back to the Lori Cliffs. Gonna stab this jerk for trying to shoot me. And these lava jerks are gonna eat blade. Same with these rock worms. Looking all ugly and whatnot. Shortcut again, and I got the strength boost finally for being out here, so we are making good progress. Come on. So I forgot, there's that map there that shows us where the enemies are in the area and how many there are. So that's still a good thing. Oh, and that force thing up there in the top left-hand corner, that basically shows that I haven't collected the gem here yet. So once all the enemies are defeated and you collect the gem, that force thing disappears from the map. So you know that you got everything. I think that's actually kind of a genuinely awesome thing that they did with this. Especially in an era where they really weren't keen on like helping you chart things, keep track of stuff. So it was nice that they did that for this. So you didn't really miss out on any opportunities to, you know, level up. There we go. Took care of those guys. Oh, there's enemies down here. Gotta defeat these guys. There we go. There's 5 left, and they're all in that little pentagram shape down there, so we're gonna go down there and stab them to death. Running! Woo! Oh, there we go. 4 of these floating statue head things. Oh, now they're all trying to circle me like vultures. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So this every once in a while will drop. It gives you a little bit of health back. Awesome. And I got the health boost, so even more awesome. Takes care of that. Now if we go up here, this is where I have to go anyway, because this takes us back to that room that I was in earlier where we'd killed some stuff already, but they hadn't finished. So some kind of journal. Note about the Incas. They have no written language. They've left their legends in sound. I have succeeded in deciphering the Incan melody of the wind. Chant in the golden room. Does that mean to play the melody of the wind? Yes, it does. That's exactly what it means, game. Thank you so much. We killed the worms. One more dead. Now I got 4 left to kill. I'm gonna get that red jewel, which is good because I need to send that one off to the Gem the Jeweler. kill these dudes. There we go. One guy left, and now he's dead too. And I get a strength boost. So unfortunately we have to switch back to Will. All of our slashing escapades have come to an end, unfortunately, for now. But that's okay, because we need Will to play the music to show us the hidden tile in the room up ahead. So, we're going to record. I'm going to run out. Now we're going to run down here, because this is where the golden room is. And here's where I play the golden flute melody. So I play wind melody. Softly play the wind melody. When touched by the echo of the flute, the gold block began to glow. So you see that one, you just stand on that one for a second, and doing so, after about 5-10 seconds, it should hopefully open the door. There we go. And here's where we have the last puzzle. So remember we have these statues in our inventory. Oh, I forgot they do things backwards here. So A goes here. And then we go over to this one. Because the wind's still catching us, but then when you notice we go down to these guys, the wind stops, his hair stops blowing. So that's how you know to put these statues beneath the breath of the gods, or whatever it said, basically. And in doing so, you conjure up a super whirlwind, which we're going to save real quick and change back to Freedan, because we're about to fight the first boss. And also get our first Mystic statue. So get hyped, guys. We're already making a good bit of headway. When he suffers damage, rays of light will shoot from his head. If you suffer damage, hide behind him. So they kind of give you a little bit of a heads up on the boss here, but I'm here to tell you it doesn't do too awful much. So we're going to catch this gust that's building up between these stones, and then we're going to catch that wall and fly. If you go up there, it basically leads you back up to the cliff face, which lets you drop down. Nothing exciting. Here's the boss. These things all have names. I can't remember them because you need the guide. The guide says their names. I always call this guy Asmodeus, though, because he seems like a demon from hell. You know, reaching up to basically come and get you. You can only damage his hands until those are gone, and then you can damage his face. The only thing is, he doesn't like to make his hands... There we go. There goes his first hand. And I'm about to die already. There we go. Okay, okay. Okay, I need to... eat the herb. Because he can't hurt me back here. Okay, but geez, that thing does a lot of damage. So now you're seeing why I have so many herbs, because this game loves to just tack on the damage counters. There's a way to do this right here, I think, where he can't reach you. But when his eyes glow like that, then you can smack him with your sword. Do a lot of damage. And I beat him. Ha, dang. After the demon disappears, Will returns to his original shape. So that thing's going to bounce around the room, and the fires of hell are still going to glow in that pit there. But the demon's gone, and I'm back to my normal Willy self, which is good. Because we are about to go and explore our first big finding. After falling for a neon. Like, no lie. Seriously, look at that. He just fell like a mile and then landed on a gold ship. This is the Incan gold ship. What? I feel like someone's there. Someone is there. Look, look, the king has returned. And he's much shorter. It's the king. You're safe. I'm the king? That's kind of weird. King, you're safe. Now we can set sail. It's a happy occasion. We have waited for you for such a long time. The queen is in her stateroom. Please show her that you're okay. Wow. So I guess I'm a king now. Solid. Oh, king. Looking around the ship? I expect you're tired. Look around, then rest in this bed. Oh, there's the queen. Through the darkness, a bright light is visible in front of the cave. As the ship set sail, that light represented the freedom we had just won. We're talking the past tense about something that's happening right now. The queen is still wearing the ring she got from the king. That's right. It's the ring he gave her when they were separated by the invaders. Since then, she has thought of nothing but him. Good, you have returned safely. As you were told, until now I've been guarding the mystic statue of the wind. That's the statue you were awarded by the spirits. It's in the jewel box in the storehouse below. Look for yourself. Cool, so we got ourselves our very first mystic statue. Why must we flee? It is our home. The mystic statue is in this box. Preparations are being made to set sail. Well, are you going to the crow's nest? You can watch the ship set sail. Oh, that's right. I can indeed. We got our first mystic statue, everybody. 1 of 6. And it looks like a weird frog creature. I believe it's actually based off of a realistic design. So, obviously, as you can tell, there are some legitimate, like, real-world things here, like the Incans were obviously a thing. I don't know about the Incan gold ship. I unfortunately don't know much about their mythology, but I do know that the Incan faces in the rock are also a thing, and that was something that really kind of supercharged my imagination back in the day. Oh, Short King, look there. The ship is coming out of the cave. Whoa. So we're actually set sail. After living in darkness for so long, the brightness is like a new beginning. How can invaders come to destroy a world as beautiful as this? Jumping! Yeah, he'd be dead. I'm just gonna say it right now. That kid would have fallen and broken both his legs. But anyway, we're gonna go up here. I'm checking the barrels to make sure I didn't miss any red jewels. Because we're on good track so far. And I don't want to mess that up. Nothing there, nothing here. She's just saying what she said before. This whole ship is basically rocking hardcore, as you see the waves outside. Well, no gems in here, so I'm guessing maybe there isn't some in here yet. Which is good, because this would be a terrible place to miss one. I'm sorry that it's so shabby, but please try to get some rest. I fell into a deep sleep and was pulled inside a dream. Oh look, I'm back home. And there's no jackal on the wall again. Mother? Look in the sky. The comet is so beautiful. After years and years, the comet approaches Earth, then recedes. Some say it's an unlucky star. Some say it's a lucky star. Will, what do you think? We're gonna go with lucky. Alright, then hope this happiness doesn't slip away. Will, I am always watching over you. Whoa! Will! Will, wake up! Wait, Lance is here? What the You were acting strange, so we followed you. Then we reached a strange town. Wait, don't call it strange. I was born there. It's invisible. I'd call that pretty strange. Will, you can't go on a journey without telling us. Since we're friends, we have to share good times and bad. You're back so late, the Elder must have read your fortune. He said that you were floating alone on the sea. I was so surprised. So, I went to sleep, and suddenly that Incan that was standing there is now dead, and my friends are suddenly here on this ship with me. We're gonna go check a few more places. Once again, I'm gonna do another quick sweep, just on the off chance that we find ourselves a gem. Poor Incan bastard. Nope, no gems. Always good to be safe. Check out here. Oh, friggin' Eric's here too? I was surprised. Oh, it's you, Will. Don't scare me. Normally people don't just, say that they're surprised. They just, get surprised. But I guess that's too much for Will, or for Eric here. Even Seth made it. I found a strange jewel on board the ship. I'll give it to you. Will gets a red jewel. Ah, there we go. So, that's the red jewel that you can miss here. If you don't come out and talk to Seth while you're on the ship, you lose any chance of getting the red jewel. Because, it's like a one-time opportunity, basically, and you miss it if you don't talk to him. So, that could have totally screwed our run. Luckily, I didn't. Alright, so now we're going to go over here. Make sure to check these barrels just in case I'm wrong and there was another gem here. I don't think so. But it's good to be safe. Okay. Wow, Kara's looking at the dead queen. They perished waiting for the king's return. I can't stand anything that disrupts people's peaceful lives. The queen's mummy sleeps silently. There's a golden ring on her long, slender, bony finger. That ring must be one of the artifacts put on this ship. This is the most valuable of all the artifacts. Many people have lost their lives trying to get rich by finding this ring. I want the ring. It's so pretty. I really must have it. Have you no shame? You could be cursed. What? Uh-oh. The ship's under attack. What's going on? Wah! That's Seth. It's coming from the deck. What happened to Seth? Something happened. It's Seth. A huge, enormous, giant fish ran into the ship. Seth fell in the water. He was swallowed. Gulp. What was that? Ah, it's that fish again. We'll all be dessert. Stop crying and grab this or you'll fall overboard. Whoa. Seizure ship. You just come to? I've lost everyone. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. You recover quickly, like a lizard's tail. I've read about being adrift, but I never thought it would happen to me. Disasters sometimes happen suddenly. You don't say. Well, at least we got ourselves a plank of wood to rest on. Guess I'm gonna sit here and glow on this raft. So it's nothing else to do but rave. Don't be upset. Don't think about the future. Let's just enjoy drifting. I'm starved. I'll have the meat I bought from the castle. Or brought from the castle. My bad. There we go. We bit off some of the meat. It was better than any food we'd ever had. I guess when you have just snail pie to compare it to, that definitely does sound better. Drifting, day 2. Smack the fish! What are you doing? The poor fish! Smack the fish! Beautiful. Even after seeing it all day, I still never get tired of it. Smack the fish! She gets so mad at you. Smack the fish! Ah, she's just such a fuddy-duddy. Oh, I could have hit 2 fish right there for the price of 1. Smack the fish! Smack it! Smack! Smack both fish! Time passed slowly with nothing to break the monotony, except for Will smacking fish. Kara just stared at the fish all day. Will couldn't stand it. He walked around on the raft and talked to Kara many times. A minute seemed like forever, but he could hear the march of time. Drifting, day 4. So we ate our yummy roast leg of yak, and now we're starving because we haven't eaten since then, and it's been 3 days. And now my health is basically down to 2 little orbs. I have a premonition. Help is coming. What? Oh, great! A pot to piss in! We finally have more than nothing! There was a letter in the jar. The contents read, "We are on a ship on our way to be sold as forced labor in an unknown land. If anyone reads this, please save us. Sam." My premonition! You said you wanted to be saved, but it's me who needs to be saved. Oh, I am so starved. You should have caught that fish if you had. I can't hurt such a pretty fish. Are you saying it's better to starve? Raw fish gives me the creeps. I can't eat it. Besides, the fish is fighting to stay alive. Fish feel pain. Have you ever thought of how the fish feels? No. If you want to eat it, go ahead. I'm not going to eat it. Now she's going to sulk. I'm going to read that note again. I'm going to smack the ocean a little bit, and then I'm going to go talk to her. She's going to give me the big old silent treatment. Kara didn't say anything all day. What a shame. A typical princess. She's such a bother. Drifting, day 7. Drifting, first week, a school of fish. He reached the end of his rope. If he didn't eat more, he thought he would starve. So we're gonna smack the fish and eat it. Smack the fish, 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 eat it. I smack it a few times. Manhandle the fish. Tastes better when you smack it a bunch. Ooh, got 2 for the price of 1 there. There we go. I think I'm full health. 1 more how to do it though. Okay, had to make sure. Well, sorry I talked to you that way yesterday. Yesterday? It was like 3 days ago. I'll try to eat the fish. I can't do anything if I starve. Only in peacetime can you refuse food you don't like. Let's catch a fish. A good one. Ready? Smack the fish! Oh, jeez. Lady, you don't have to give me the whole spiel. I caught you a fish. Okay, we'll try it again. Happily, Kara ate some fish. Will found that he was starting to develop feelings for Kara. Really? Drifting, day 12. The stars are beautiful. If I were taller, I could reach them. Surely Lily and Lance are looking at the same star-studded sky. If I could talk to the stars, I could find out where everyone is. There seems to be one extra star near the constellation of Cygnus. Yes, that red star. Shall we make a wish upon that star? I have a feeling it'll come true. Will you close your eyes too? I hope for everyone's safety and for my father. Ooh, she's cuddling in. Drifting day 18. 3 weeks out here almost. We've been adrift for almost 3 weeks now. Hasn't your hair gotten a little long? Just a little. Kara doesn't act like a spoiled princess now. If you told someone she was one of the island girls, no one would doubt it. It's terrible. What is that? There in the water. Uh-oh. Shark, time to smack it with my flute. We could be eaten. What should we do? They're circling our raft, but they're not attacking. Let's think about this. Oh, I've got it. They're not hungry. My grandpa told me that only humans attack living things when they're not hungry. Then what we're doing is not usual human behavior. We didn't eat fish until we were starving. That's right. They're going. Goodbye, sharks. Oh. Okay, well, there goes the threat there. Drifting, day 21. A full 3 weeks. When I was in the castle, I loved watching the sunset. The sunset was so beautiful from the corridor of the castle. But now I've come to hate it. After the sun is set, the darkness comes. I thought I'd never see the sun rise again. But since you're with me, I see a beautiful sunrise every morning. With you by my side, I can even enjoy times like these. I've wanted to say the same things to you, but somehow the words just wouldn't come out. I just nodded, saying nothing. Suddenly, Will fell over unconscious, sorry. Will, what's wrong? Wake up, don't leave me here alone. Oops. You can wake him up now. He'll be fine if he takes vitamin C. It's scurvy, a disease caused by a long-term lack of vitamin C. Columbus's crew contracted it once. Nothing to worry about. When it gets worse, the blood gets bad and the skin turns black. The gums bleed and the body starts decaying. Stop, I don't want to listen to such talk. Ha ha ha, I'm glad you're okay. But you know best, thank you. You should thank the dog outside. He found your raft and came to get me. Will, wake up. We've reached land. We're saved. Kara? Where am I? We're at the home of the kind man who saved us. You've been tossing in your sleep. I kept putting the blankets on you, but you threw them off. This is the south outskirts of Oakton. The city of Frisia is half a day to the north. If you're looking for your friend, you should look in a big town. Well, nothing wrong with your logic. Anyway, let's go to Frisia. I'm going to thank the dog. Come back when you're ready. Yeah, sure. Go thank the dog. Don't thank me for feeding us fish. Got a red jewel. Oh, there we go. And send that off to the jeweler. Woof woof. This dog's name is Turbo. Isn't he cute? Well, let's go. Maybe we'll see Lily, Eric, and Lance. So they went to Frisia. Jeez, we're just blazing a trail right along. The Diamond Coast. Frisia. Oh, it's nice. What a great city. People who live in such a pretty place must have beautiful hearts. What a cute couple. Have you decided where you're staying tonight? No, not yet. We're looking for someone. Well, well, why not base your search here? It's settled. I'm exhausted. Don't you like it, Will? Let's go. The Frisia is the city flower. Smells good, doesn't it? I guess it's just gonna endlessly rain here. Endless flower petals. Well, come in. This is the hotel. Let's go in. Oh, lady and dude smooching up there in the window. Whoa! Come in. Will and Kara? Lily. Is that Lily? I was worried. It's been almost a month since we separated. I've been working and living in this hotel. Lance is in the room on the right. Go in there. Why did you say it like that? Oh, hey. Look, Lance. They say I don't know who I am. Kind of strange. If I don't know who I am, how did I get here? Lance hit his head escaping from the Incan ship. The doctor said that he has temporary amnesia. Meanwhile, I think Lance should stay here until he recovers. Also, I haven't seen Eric since last night. I wonder what's happened. Suspicious. Wait, I think there maybe... I don't think it's in here, actually. I think it's in the next one. In a different house. My bad. Oh, no, it's in that room. Haha! I found that one, too. You can't hide red jewels from me, game. I'm too good a sleuth. Now I'm gonna go find my friend. Hey, have you seen this small dumpy kid named Eric? Wait, what? Mothers are always worrying about things. I was afraid you'd been kidnapped by someone or had been wounded. My mother suffered like that. Wait, why would you say that to me? I'm not your kid, lady. Go find your own kid. Preferably one without a flute. A life lived honestly. A life of fun and laughter. If you don't want to lose your lives, go home. Well, dude. The HP jewel. Oh, I got an HP jewel. You found the herbs. Where'd he go? A laborer escaped. Have you seen him? Tell me if you see him. Ah, here we go. Dark space. Alright guys, well I think we're going to wrap it here because we're coming up on 2 hours. And we've made a lot of headway in this game, believe it or not. We're already well on our way to getting to the second statue already. And we've managed to accomplish a lot in such a short time. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you guys are having a good time. Gaia is one of those that, you know, while obviously like some of the dialogue is a little more stilted and it's obviously like not as, you know, like I guess well fleshed out in terms of its dialogue and its characterizations, I still feel like it's a really good game for folks to play. It's got a lot of good combat mechanics, some interesting twists and turns here. The story itself does get pretty interesting going forward, so I hope you guys stick around for that. And honestly, the idea that they used so much of this to be, you know, like real world locations and things like the Incans and other places that we're going to be going soon. You know, it's really unique, and it's something that a lot of these games that were done by Enix and Quintet back in the day did in terms of their style of story, as we'll probably see in other games that I play in the future. But for now, we're going to wrap it here. Thank you for joining me. We will come back here to this game on Tuesday next week, so look forward to more Illusion of Gaia then. For now, get yourselves ready, because on Sunday we are going to be starting at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we will be starting Chrono Trigger, since it tied with Illusion of Gaia and I didn't want to disappoint anybody. So we're going to have our Sundays be taken up by Chrono and our Tuesdays and Thursdays taken up by Illusion of Gaia. So with that, thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you guys have a good night, and I hope to see you on Sunday. So take care and enjoy.